sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
What's up, people? This will be a comparison between a quarter wave VHF antenna with the Slim Jim design antenna here. And along with that, we're going to go ahead and also compare it into a quarter wave vehicle installation using the war wagon here, the Porcupine war wagon. That's a more realistic, real world application of what we're trying to do here, other than using a supporting beam or a tripod here for a freestanding quarter wave antenna, which I would never deploy in this configuration. For a quarter wave, I would upgrade it over to a full half wave antenna, other than this thing here. So the differences between a tripod mounted quarter wave antenna and the vehicle mounted quarter wave antenna is that the ground plane is a little bit different between the both of them. I mean, it's a ground plane, but this one here is more calibrated for the actual antenna itself. This one here is cut for ham use. So this antenna here is actually cut for 149 megahertz along with the radials here, to match the resonant frequency of this antenna here. This antenna I had for a good 4 years, and it's been through the ringer. Right here on this trap right here, I've broke it. It completely severed, so I had to sort of cut just a 1/4 of an inch and resolder the center conductor to this matching unit here, this trap circuit here. So it did raise my resonant frequency from 145 to 149 megahertz. So that's why I had to cut this for the same resonant frequency as that. But the radio test and reception and all that is still going to be somewhat the same. I just made these two exactly the same as far as resonance. This here, like I said, the ground plane was a little bit off, where if I had it totally parallel, I wouldn't get a good, or my return loss actually would be really crappy. So I had to sort of bend them down 45 degrees so I could get a better return loss with this configuration. I could probably get it better, but I didn't want to deal with it. On the vehicle, you have no choice. You got the top of the vehicle or the trunk of the vehicle, and the length of the ground plane there is varying, so you can't really manipulate the ground plane tuning along with the quarter wave configuration here. So you're actually going to get differences between this antenna configured in like this in a monopole compared to what everybody every day uses is in the vehicle configuration. So bottom line, this video here was made to answer some questions to myself and also the viewers out there. I've been accused of being a snake oil salesman, so that wasn't too cool. So I went ahead to see what the manufacturer claims is compared to actual reality. I don't have a lab here, so I don't have a chamber to test all this all scientifically or anything like that. But the testing will be real world sort of environment, and what everybody should, you know, expect out in the real world, not in a sterile chamber or something like that. It's going to be apples to apples comparison. That's why I'm sticking with VHF and no other bands. Other bands could be a whole separate set of rules. So this is what I'm going to stick to right here, is just a VHF frequency range on testing and comparing these three configurations here. See what works. So for the rest of my viewers out there, don't go over to the other video and give this guy any hassle or anything like that. It was a legitimate sort of accusation, or what do you call it, criticism there. So instead of poking my finger in his eyeball, I take up the challenge and see what the hell is the difference between all this stuff in real life. Does the manufacturer claims compare to real life, applications of all this? So the one commenter was saying that the quarter wave antenna actually outperforms the Slim Jim antenna by half a dB. Okay, fine and dandy. Well, we'll see what it does in real life. Also, I'm also going to introduce a saying that I've been saying for the past 2 months verbally to a new employee, and it basically goes down like this. It's technically sound, but tactically stupid, meaning that something on paper that sounds great and it looks like it's going to work could, in a tactical situation, be the wrong application. So I had to say this a lot to this one guy, because he comes up with these bright ideas that sound okay on paper, but tactically it's a bad idea. I mean, and I look at the both ends of the spectrum, both tactically and technically. You got to find that fine balance to make whatever you're doing work. And I think this is a prime example of what I'm trying to say here. Is it may sound all fine and dandy technically, but tactically it's the stupidest thing in the world. So I'll show you the difference in what I'm talking about in this particular situation here. So what we're using today is the spectrum analyzer portion of this service monitor here, LMR 400 cable, which is a really low loss efficient cable. We're going to use an antenna switcher to switch between the Slim Jim and the quarter wave, and we also have a return loss bridge here that sort of measure the resonant frequency over the spectrum analyzer here. So for all you geeks out there, that's pretty much going to be the test bed for our simulation here. I'm not going to use power out as far as transmitting power out of this, because I don't think it'll give me an accurate sort of results that I could analyze. Instead, I'm going to use a transmit radio, this one right here, or I got my Yaesu out there actually, and a mag mount with another quarter wave antenna, not this one here, to transmit low power, which will be 100 milliwatts of power from a fixed location. So the only variables that's going to be changing will be the elevation angle that I'm transmitting from a low elevation, middle elevation, and somewhat of a higher elevation. Not by much, because my property here, I don't have that much elevation to do that, but there was a difference between those three elevations, between the three antenna configurations. So that's going to be the test bed of what's going to go on here. So for all you other guys, sorry this had to be so technical, but this is the only way I could really sort of either show the performance of this in Geek Talk, because there was somebody more technically advanced that sort of called me out on this. Okay, low angle transmit test. I'm going to transmit from the fence line over there, which is a bit lower. I got both antennas, the Jim Slim here and the quarter wave right there. And we're going to measure the input intensity of those antennas with the machine here. So I have this to where it's going to peak at the it's set up for peak hold, so it's going to record the highest peak. So we'll go down to the radio. So here we are, low power on the quarter wave antenna here. That's going to remain constant for this particular test, and the angle is upwards towards the two antennas over there. So here we go, just transmit a carrier only. Carrier, low power. So that should be enough for it to record. So there it was. The switcher here is switching between Jim Slim and quarter wave. So right now I'm switched to the Slim Jim. and I'm recording a level of minus 26.6 dBm that it recorded here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the quarter wave and do the same test. Let me clear the peak hold, reset it. We'll do the same thing. There's the quarter wave, and we have a minus 23 there from that location. So I'm going to record the page. Okay, let's do a practical test. Here I have my porcupine war wagon here of an antenna farm. I took off all the antennas on top except for the high band antenna there, VHF. Alright, same setup. Transmitting from relatively a low angle here. Not too low, but there's my my test antenna there. Off of this, low power just like before. Everything's the same as before. So there's no change in variables except for the a ground plane out of a vehicle. So let's give it a zap here. That's all it should take. We'll find out what's the story is with this. So here I am about the same distance. This time we're in the same plane or level plane as the two antennas from this location here. I'm on the opposite end, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a blast. And it's on top of this pole right here, same setup. It's going to remain constant, and let's see what happens. Transmit. Time to look at the results. Okay, this is using the Slim Jim antenna now. Same setup. Blast. That should be enough. Let's see what it recorded. Okay, here's the level transmitting plane, and the antennas are roughly the same height as the other ones, maybe a couple of feet lower on the vehicle configuration. Let's give it a zap here. Now this antenna here that I'm hooked up to, here's my radio. It's hooked up to this transmission line, and that's going out in the backyard in my monopole tower, or yeah, my mast out there on the lower antenna, which is another Slim that I'm using as a base antenna for ham radios. So same thing. Transmit a blast. Let's go see the results.
Don't sweat the technique.
And here's the backyard mast that I was telling you about. There's the Slim Jim antenna that I've transmitted before, and I'm going to use the disc cone antenna way on top now to transmit, because that antenna could also be used as a transmit antenna in the ham bands. From where I'm at right now, that is, let me see, 10, 20, 30 feet from way on top. It's about 20 feet from this location right here. Actually, like 15 actually. But I'm on a hill here, so downslope there, that's another, I would say 10 feet of elevation. So roughly it's like 50 feet of elevation from where the antenna is to the two antennas that are up in this location here. So I got some elevation angle going on here. So let's see what that looks like. Now we're on the disc cone antenna or scanner antenna, the shop antenna here. That's all I need. Let's see the results. So here's another comparison between a Slim Jim and this time the disc cone antenna up on my monopole mast up there. I got both. So the disc cone, the return loss on that is minus 19 dB of return loss. The Slim Jim has a return loss of 17 dBs, which is within spec. Average about 1.2 SWR. So let's do a reception test on both. Mind you, the disc cone is on top, and it has better cable. It's a little bit longer length, but it's got better, more efficient cable. So I'm going to go ahead and remote control transmit that frequency from annotate the mileage away. Okay, let's call into it. VHF testing, VHF testing, VHF testing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Enter star 2-digit extension or star 00 for the operator.
Okay.
07 connected.
Okay, here we're going to go. Test. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5. So that's minus 87 dBs for the Slim Jim antenna being received from far away, a 100-watt transmitter down in the valley on a folded dipole. And I do have a mountain ridge in the way, and I believe it's 500 feet of blockage, granite blockage, but I'm still getting some signal coming to me, possibly refraction or multipath, one of those two. So that was the Slim Jim. Here's the disc tone antenna. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. Around minus 83 dBAMs coming in. So that's a difference of around 4 or 5 dBs, which is somewhat significant, but I still receive both signals. I'm just receiving it a little bit better with the scanner antenna on top, the disc cone antenna. What does that mean? Not much really, but one's more efficient than the other.
Disconnecting.
So what does that mean? What's the final summary of all this? Mind you, this is tuned for 149 megahertz. I can't change that. This one, the center frequency, resonant frequency, is the same as this, just to make them both the same. The resonant frequency of my quarter wave antenna on top of the vehicle is 145.45, and that was the transmit frequency that I've been using to test all these antennas. So these are not resonant, but that one is on top. Big difference between the quarter wave and Slim Jim. This has more bandwidth. So the bandwidth on this is about average 16 to 18 megahertz wide. The bandwidth on that is about half, 6 to 7, or yeah, around 6 to 7 megahertz. So this is sharper than this antenna. In English, that means that I could receive efficiently and transmit more efficiently more frequencies on this antenna than I can on the Slim Jim. But the Slim Jim, it's made for hams, so this will cover the whole ham band and get have a good SWR reading on the ham band. This could go up into the public safety frequencies and not pose any problem if you transmit on that. Same thing with the antenna on top. That quarter wave on top there has got a bandwidth around 15 to 16 megahertz. So in that respect, the quarter wave antenna is better. Reception on these two antennas when the transmitter is lower in angle than these two antennas itself, the winner was the monopole configured quarter wave by 3 dBs. Second place was the Slim Jim, and last place was the vehicle configuration. From a level plane of the antennas, the monopole configuration of the quarter wave beat out the Slim Jim by 1 dB, and the quarter wave on top of the vehicle failed miserably by, I would say, 8 dBs. So that was the big time loser, was the vehicle configured quarter wave, which is tuned for resonance on that particular frequencies, where these are on the edges a little bit. So when the vehicle is low, or the actual receivers are low compared to a high angled transmitting antenna, let's say from a repeater, or in my case up here my property 50 feet above, it was a tie between the Slim Jim and the monopole configured quarter wave. The loser was the antenna on top of the vehicle. Return loss on resonance on all these antennas, this was first place with minus 26 dBs of return loss. This was minus 21, or I'm sorry, minus 24 dBs, and the vehicle was minus 21. Though in fairness, if I manipulated these radios here, tune them in a bit more sharply or better, I could possibly beat out the Slim Jim as far as return loss. But that quarter wave up there will not get any better performance. So bottom line, technically the clear winner is the monopole stationed quarter wave with the radios at a 45-degree angle. Second place, the Slim Jim, and last place is the vehicle mounted quarter wave antenna. So technically that's the winner. Tactically, the clear winner is the Slim Jim antenna. If you're on foot, let's say in this sort of terrain, up in the hills and trees, and even in the city too, you could hang this up wherever, or inside your apartment, house, or whatever. In real life, in real situations or incidents, I've never seen a quarter wave antenna deployed in a base camp or something to that effect. I always see something with better efficiency, or a full halfway antenna or dipole, end-fed dipole used always. If not that, a 5/8 wavelength antenna over this. So this configuration here with the monopole, I never seen it used in real life as far as that aspect. The monopole, the Slim Jim, the only people I've seen use that is hams. But most of the configuration that I've seen out there using a quarter wave antenna will be in a vehicle set up just like this here. Just because it's technically easier to use, a small form factor, tactically it's a better option for stealth, compactness of design, and in some situations where your primary goal is to hit the repeater up high and not so much horizontal communications with other people going simplex. There are other antennas for that, so it really depends on your application or what you're trying to accomplish. So that is the difference between technically sound and tactically stupid. So in a nutshell, some claims in that other video was wrong from me, and I retract those sayings, and hopefully if you compare both videos, this video has got more concrete proof than the other. But in other aspects, I still think the Slim Jim antenna is a real good field expedient antenna to take out there hiking or patrolling out there or whatever. A sort of expedient base camp sort of antenna for where when you bed down for the night or something like that, traveling through the hills. I did not make that other video to say that one antenna is better than the other. It's more like, hey, I'm pretty impressed with this antenna. It'll do everything that you wanted to do and then some. So the only difference is the elevation angle of attack of the radio waves may be a little bit higher than what is claimed, and I proved that with our little test we did out here. So that's one difference, and yeah, that's it. I'm wrong on that aspect, but we're here to make it right and show you guys exactly what's going on out there. As far as being a snake oil salesman, no, I brought this antenna on my own free will, no influence, out of my own pocket. So I'm not in the bed with any manufacturer out there. It was just pretty much a first impression analysis of it from those other videos. So take that with a grain of salt, like any other YouTube video out there, and do your own research and read some books.